Directly or indirectly, I had helped. 1 down, 4 more to go. Next on the agenda, plant a tree. Frankly, I didn't have time to get a tree and plant it on some remote spot. Instead, I bought a few apples, took out the seeds, and scattered them in front of a Target great land a la Johnny Appleseed. One day, I hoped, the entire area would become the only apple orchard in the world with ample parking. With a flourish, I checked off number 2. It was almost time for breakfast, a perfect time to conserve energy, which was number 3 on the list. It was about 100 degrees in incessantly sunny L.A. that day. Hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk, as my mother used to mutter under her breath, almost accusatorily. Of all the things she could get on my case about, as we used to say, I still can't believe she picked the weather, as opposed to, say, my huge bell-bottoms or my continual use of the phrase, "You're not the boss of me." So in order to get that pesky number 3 out of the way, I decided the best way to conserve was to harness the energy of the sun. If a bunch of drug-addled hippies could do it, why couldn't I? I cracked 2 eggs on the sidewalk and covered them in a light but tangy hollandaise sauce. Then I waited. Maybe it wasn't hot enough to use concrete as a stovetop, as my mother had always led me to believe, but it was hot enough to jump in my car, turn on the air conditioner, and head over to Denny's. Sitting in a cozy booth, I dug into my Eggs Benedict and revised my goals. After deep contemplation, I came to the conclusion that using alternative energy in place of fossil-fueled energy was still technically using energy, not conserving it. So, to stay true to old number 3, I decided I would sit motionless in Denny's until they stopped refilling my root beer. After 4 hours, and 37 trips to the bathroom, I realized that no energy conservation was taking place. I paid the bill, $2.14, how do those people stay open, and felt justified checking off number 3. At least I hadn't mentioned anything about water conservation. Volunteer as a big sister was item number 4. Unfortunately, the day was almost over, so calling the Big Brothers and Sisters of America was out of the question. Thinking quickly, I called up my 10-year-old neighbor, Abigail Van Splinter. Within minutes, she knocked on the door and I invited her in. "Hi, Abigail. I'm your big sister." "No, you're not." "Yes, I am." "Hey, Abigail, do you want a Hertz donut?" "Okay." I gave her a playfully hard punch on the arm. "Hurts, don't it?" "You're mean." "I know you are, but what am I?" "You're picking on me just like my real big sister. I don't need this. I'm going home." Man, that one was easy. 4 down, only 1 to go. Number 5 was a real doozy. To be honest, since I wasn't even quite sure where the Amazon rainforest was, single-handedly revitalizing it was going to be a challenge. My knowledge of geography is primarily limited to where I've gone on tour. I couldn't recall performing stand-up in a rainforest, Amazonian or otherwise. Thinking quickly, and quite geniusly, I turned number 5 into a big fat 1. Then I put it on the top of my list for the next day. I stopped to think about the things that I had accomplished and how much they would mean to the world. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I knew that my medium-sized contributions would really have an impact in the not-so-distant future. My ripple could be felt as close as next door, with little Abigail waking up tomorrow morning with a sore arm and a stronger resilience, or as far away as however far away that rainforest on my list is. That night I went to bed early, my list for the next day poised on my nightstand, but first I made an important addition. Number 2, buy an atlas. This is how we live. Everyone likes to talk about how advancements in technology will change the way we live forever. Frankly, I think that modern technology is hurting us. I really do. If you want to know the truth, I blame the microwave for most of our problems. Anything that gets that hot without fire is from the devil. If you don't believe me, you put a hot pocket in there for 3 or 4 minutes, pop that thing in your mouth. If that's not hell, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what is. Modern life requires hardly any physical activity. We just push a button and stand there. Take the car window. Someone decided that having to crank the window down yourself was too hard. I don't want to churn butter, I just want fresh air. So we got a button to do it. We're just so lazy. We used to have breath mints. Now we have these breath strips that just dissolve on our tongue. Can we not suck anymore? Yes, we're lazy, yet we also can't seem to sit still. So we've started making things like Go-Gurt. That's yogurt for people on the go. Let me ask you something. Was there a big mobility problem with yogurt before? How time-consuming was it, really? Hello? Oh, hi, Tom. Oh, I've been dying to see that movie. Oh, no, I just opened up some yogurt. Yeah, I'm in for the night. Not even later. It's the kind with the fruit on the bottom. Well, have fun. Thanks anyway. And people are eating power bars all the time. Power bars were made for mountain climbing expeditions and hiking, not really made to be eaten in the car on the way to the mall. Is it really that much faster and more convenient? It takes longer to chew one bite of those things than it takes to make an entire sandwich. I don't know what they're made from, but you could insulate a house with that stuff. There are certain things that they're coming up with that I just don't think we need. Top of the list is that moving sidewalk that you find in airports. It's like a little ride in the middle of nowhere. But I don't know what function it really serves. I mean, it's fun, because it moves, so if you walk while you're on it, you're almost like the bionic woman, just flying past the people trudging beside you on the ground. But you know how hard it is, adjusting to walking once again, once you get off that thing? And what about those people who get on there and they just stand there? Thank God they're on there. I don't know how they get anywhere. You'd think with all these things that are speeding things up for us and moving us along...